you're always searching for that perfect game. You're always searching for that one game that you had where everything clicked. And very seldom does that ever happen, but you're always searching for it. And I think that's the challenge of it, and that's the thing we're all hunting for. And it does happen on occasion, but certainly not as much as we'd like to.
I don't think you really appreciate what you have and what you're going through when you're actually there. But once it gets to the end of your career and you know that it's winding down and you know that it's almost over, or after you don't get to go to spring training for that first time, then I think you really appreciate what baseball has afforded to us.
I really didn't love baseball and really didn't appreciate it until I hurt my leg, and then it was almost taken away from me.
How can baseball ever go wrong? Baseball will never go wrong. And the players can't let it go, and if they try, they won't. Because it's just like I'd tell my players, I said, see this right there? I said, see that? I said, that's 10 years, and you're a star now, and you don't have time for everybody. I said, but bingo, you won't be playing anymore up here. And then you'll wish you had have been good to the people, because you don't know who you're going to meet coming down. And on your way up, don't think you're the only one. I says, because 10 years go just like that, and don't ever forget it. But those are the things that I can talk about that all the time. Because once again, it's the greatest game there is. It's magic.
There's been a lot of mistakes made, and then of course the World Series here a few years ago was wiped out. Hopefully these people have learned from their mistakes and realize how important it is to continue moving forward, and hopefully get rid of these things that have taken baseball back down a couple notches.
This game has a great history. We should all work to keep putting back into the game, and I think sometimes there are players here and there, not very many of them, but a few, that want to take everything out of the game without putting anything back into the game. This game owes us nothing. We owe this game everything.
When you're in the limelight like we are, and as professional people like we are, and particularly with kids admiring professional athletes and wanting to be like professional athletes, it's part of our obligation as professional athletes and entertainers, to display appropriate behavior in a sense, or to give something back to the fans, and then not just in producing on the field, but doing things off the field also. Well, I think, the fans are really, they're very important in that, they keep us going, they keep the game going. If the fans' interest was not there, the game, would not be what it is today. And I think, as a former player and as a coach, and of course, as major league players now, we have an obligation, to the fans, in that, when we come out to play a game, that we give the fans our best effort every day.
Well, without the fan, there is no game. Unless you just play in the neighborhoods for each, in front of each other. I think the fan is the most important part of our game, and the problem we've had in our game is we haven't thought enough about the fan. And we need to be able to interact more with the fan. We need to be able to meet their needs. We need to be able to be on a level playing field with them. We have to change the economics of the game.
Without the fans, they wouldn't have this kind of money to throw around.
Thank God I played in the 70s. I would have liked to play earlier. Everybody says, boy, you sure would have made a lot of money if you played now. And the way I drank and the bars I hung out at, I'd be dead right now. So thank God I played when there was no money or less money. And for every season, there's a time for planning, a time for everything. And the 70s were good to me. And it's a time of political radical change. The 80s were not good. The 90s are getting better, and I think the consciousness of the young kids better, and baseball's better, and hopefully things will change.
The fun never left. I wanted to play. I mean, that's what I wanted to do. And when you're making pretty good money at that time, you're going cha-ching every day and on the debit column, And that's, I mean, it was tough. Like I said, I was building a house at that time. I was losing $3,000 or $4,000 a day. But at that time, I'd think about how Hank didn't complain about losing money for us.
You can't get a job in baseball that's any better. It's better in any sport because you have a pension. You get $63 a day meal money. They pay for your hotel room. There's a couple buses pick you up when you land at the airport. When the game's over and you have to fly, the buses take you right to the airplane and you get right on. You go to the next hotel and your luggage is sitting right there when you get downtown to the hotel room. The clubhouse, there's always food after the game. It's paradise.
I can remember playing, my first time playing in New York City. We were playing an exhibition game they used to have every year, called it the Sandlot game, and the proceeds would go to Sandlots. We were playing the Yankees, and I didn't start the game, but I got in and got a single, and I stole second like Jackie Robinson. And I felt like Jackie Robinson. I got about 50, 80 of my friends in stands, and Bobby Richards playing second, and Tony Kubek is at short, I think. And I'm dancing off a second. I'm just feeling so good. And Tony Kubek he went around me, and I got back real quick. So I came back, watched him, and I was watching him in shortstop, watching him. And meanwhile, Bobby Richardson snuck over to second base. He was standing there, and they threw the ball to second. I wasn't even close. I said, Bobby, I have 50 of my friends here. Don't tag me out, please. He said, I got you, Tommy. I got you. I looked like a fool, but I enjoyed it.
Grown men playing a boys' game. That's the great joy of it, and that's what's glorious about baseball. It's also why you can't do it forever.
I'll tell you, when you know you're done, is when you hit a double and only end up at first base.
I had hit a 3-run home run coming off the bench pinch hitting. To win a ball game, I hit home plate and I retired at that moment.
I think it stops becoming fun when you can't do the things that you once did.
But I don't think a father and son ever outgrow the memory that they've had at a baseball game.
Very, very difficult to explain that feeling and the feeling of accomplishment. And still, you want to have the opportunity to do those things that you dreamed about as a kid, to get a base hit, to hit that home run. Not only to hit that home run, but hit that home run that wins the ball game in a key situation, and all of those things, and making a great catch. So once you've accomplished those things, it's exhilarating. It's a feeling that, I guess, when you think back as a little boy, yeah, that's what I remember.
Some of the kids that became successful, kids that learned that they're part of a team. Kids that learned that the most important thing was playing together and doing your best all the time.